What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me today. I just had my bike washed, and there is nothing more satisfying than driving around a freshly washed motorcycle. Ooh. So, continuing on with the topic of languages, I do get this question from time to time, and that is, can I move to China without speaking any Chinese? And I guess the simple question is, yeah, you could. I mean, technically, you can go to any country without speaking the language, but are you going to be able to survive? Like, how are you going to order food and just talk to people and just live on the basic level? It's not necessarily an easy question. You can come to China without learning any Chinese. Do I recommend it? No. Now, am I saying that? Oh, do you have to be fluent before coming here? No. It really all comes down to if you're going to spend time in a big city or a small city. You really got to make that distinction. Now, a big city is considered like a tier 1, maybe a tier 2 city. So you're talking like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and then some. So the thing is, when you're in a big city, English is often, I shouldn't say widely used, but a lot more people speak it nowadays, and so you can get away with never having to learn any Chinese your entire time here. Again, not a recommend, but totally doable, and a lot of people do. Smaller cities like this one, Huizhou, and there's like a billion I could list off here, you're going to have a more difficult time, okay? I did it. I moved to China without speaking a single word, and I remember it being very difficult. Like, I remember, I was living in Kaifeng at the time, and I was in the campus, and there wasn't really a whole lot going on in the campus or even outside the campus because it's such a small city. It wasn't really, not a happening place, I guess. And I just remember going to the stores, like just trying to buy water or beer or something, and it was so, let me just shut this thing up. It was so challenging at first, you know what I mean? Because you're trying to pay for it, and then the person tells you how much it is, but you have no idea what they're saying, so you just kind of hold out a wad of cash and count it out and hope that she sort of helps you, you know what I mean? Whereas if you're in a bigger city, a lot of especially the younger people, if they're working in corner stores or barber shops or whatever, they can at least say numbers or at least have the basic English skills to help you out a little bit. But, I feel like after living here for a while, there's three types of foreigners, really. There's foreigners that speak really good Chinese, and they tend to command quite a lot more respect amongst their community. There's people that speak zero Chinese and have no interest in it because they live in, like I said, bigger cities and don't really need to. And then there's sort of the in-between people that are like, I can speak a little bit, but it's like whatever. And That's a really tough place to be, because if you've been here for 5 years, it's kind of like locking yourself in the bathroom and raging out to Limp Bizkit, except you're 34 and you've got 2 kids, and you're trying to escape the fact that maybe you didn't do all the things you wanted to. It's like every time someone asks you your Chinese level, you just kind of try and brush it off and forget about it, but it still sort of stays with you. It makes you feel a little bit embarrassed, because I've been there, it's like seeing your dad's dick for the first time. It's just awkward. I think you got to take into account what kind of people do you want to hang out with, you know what I mean? Like, do you want just foreign friends and meet people from other countries? Because, if you live here, there's like I said, I think I mentioned this in another video, like, you'll meet people from all around the world, and that's really cool. If you're not interested in having local Chinese friends, what the fuck are you doing, bro? All right. Then that's really comes down to what you want from the place that you're going to, right? The thing is, it's like, will you have Chinese friends? Yeah, but they'll probably be speaking English with you, so you're not really getting all of the culture there. You're not really getting really China is like, because again, they're speaking English. They're taking part in your culture, not the other way around. And, Sioko's mentioned this before in one of his videos, and so have I. It's really challenging to meet people that have, like, common interests with you that are also Chinese. Just because the culture's so different, like I mentioned in my video about are Chinese people boring, it's like, they're not going to be totally interested in the same things you are, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're speaking the same language. But you can meet, like, subgroups of people that are interested in, like, motorcycles or video games or, whatever you happen to be into as well. You can totally find people like that. You know, again, like our friends in Shaoguan. You know, they were super cool because they were also interested in motorcycles. So even if you didn't speak the language there, at least you have that kind of common ground. You know, I remember I went to a place called Shantou, or I think it was Shanwei. I don't remember. I was buying a motorcycle from these people who were really cool, and I brought my friend along because my Chinese level at that time was not that great, and I was worried about getting scammed and things like that. So I brought my friend to come and help me out. These people were super cool. They set us up in a hotel, which they paid for. They showed us. They showed me like local food and invited me down, and I met their family and stuff like that. It was awesome. But we had that kind of common connection there. And I guess it is easy to rag on people that have lived here for so long and don't speak any Chinese. But to be honest, and this sounds fucking stupid, sometimes it just feels like an unnecessary skill to learn. Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit sick right now. It's kind of difficult to talk, so I'm so goddamn congested. It sort of feels like an unnecessary skill because everyone's just speaking English around you, And it just seems like, why put in all this effort for a skill you're never really going to use or need? It's kind of like, I remember back in Canada when I had one of those rare father-son moments with my dad where he taught me how to change the drum brakes in my minivan I used to drive around before his friends called him to the pub because the game was on and just left me there with no fucking wheels in my car. But basically what it taught me was not how to change the drum brakes on my car. It just taught me that I don't never want to fucking do that shit again. Like, that was bullshit. It sucked. It was just annoying, and it was like I could just pay someone else to help me do it for me. You know what I mean? There wasn't really any need for me to do it ever again. So I get Jesus. You guys getting close? Or maybe I'm too close. I guess it does make sense in that respect. I think you should learn a little bit of Chinese before coming here. Just really basic stuff, you know what I mean? At least learn how to count, learn how to order things. It might be even worth it to learn a few characters. And I forgot to mention this in my last video, but learning how to read and especially write Chinese is so fucking hard. It says, here's the old OVO van. Those fuckers haven't paid me, that cunt. If you learn those basic skills, at least just to help you get around in case you're in a small city and you might find yourself in a tight spot where, you got to talk to people, or at least you got to order food or whatever. You never want to find yourself in a situation where you're just eating like instant noodles for, your first fucking month constantly because you just can't talk to anyone. And then when you're here, it'll become a lot more easier. It'll become more easy to learn the language. Because I said in my last video that you can't learn through exposure, and that's true. What I'm saying there is 100% exposure without actually putting any effort into lessons. But if you're around the language, you'll pick up some phrases and some words and some, you'll pick up the flow of the language a little bit more easier. You can even hire private tutors to help you learn if you want to. Which I tried for a bit. It didn't really work for me because I prefer to learn by myself. It's also free if you do it by yourself, so that helps. But yeah, anyways, I'm sorry if this video wasn't really interesting to all of you, and I'm kind of driving around the same area. I just wanted to get out on the bike and ride around a little bit. I do want to talk about my live stream, which is happening tomorrow with my buddy Brown Eye out in Hong Kong, the guy I did the live stream with last time. It's going to be a hell of a time. President Xi Jinping is in Hong Kong right now. The fuck is going on here, Lexus? Yeah, and so that's going to be cool. It's going to be a little bit of a Q&A. You guys can ask whatever questions you want. There's going to be Super Chat, which is like, I guess if you pay a little bit of money, your question gets put up on the thing, so I can see it and it stays there, and I can answer it. But yeah, it'll be cool. I'm going to try and limit the time on that one because last time went on for an hour and we didn't even realize it. This is way too long. And I think for a lot of people that don't get to catch the live stream, it becomes really kind of hard to watch because you can't see the live feed of people talking. So I'm just, talking away and it just isn't making any sense to anyone because you have no idea what I'm talking about. So yeah, come join me tomorrow. It's going to be Friday night if you're in Asia, probably around 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm not really sure. I think in the American continents, that's going to be happening in the morning. But yeah, anyways, I guess also I should probably apologize to Where's Poppy. I don't think she's seen any of my videos yet, but I kind of went back and rewatched it, and I thought I was kind of being funny, but I think I was just kind of being mean, you know what I mean? This poor girl's trying to make videos, and I'm just like totally unprovoked blasting her on the internet. There's no real hard feelings. I actually just don't care. I'm just a bit of a dick. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for tagging along. I hope we catch you guys tomorrow on the live stream. Stay positive. Keep your stick on the ice. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. And yeah, you know the drill. Stay positive.